Hey yo, what's going on? It's your girl Red.
It's your girl Fantasia.
And welcome to Red Fan TV.
You heard?
Thank you for tuning into the channel. If you checked out our last video, you know that we are on our TTC journey, which is trying to conceive. And the last video we talked to you guys about how we selected our donor. So yeah, if you haven't checked that video out, check out the link in the description, and yeah, then come back and watch this one.
Yes.
But today we're gonna talk about the clinic that we ended up choosing and how we got there. So
it was a journey, y'all. It was a bump and hurdles and roller coasters. We had to go through a lot to get there, but it was good because at the end of the day, I wanted my own journey. I wanted us to have a different journey,
a different experience.
and that's exactly what happened.
Nah, she been saying that from when we first started talking about like having kids. I think one of her fears was like because I was already a mom, you know, and I had already kind of gone through this because obviously as a same sex like parent, you kind of don't have a lot of options, and so I kind of knew already what IUI was. Her thing was like, I had experience, that's own experience.
Yeah, like, you know, a lot of, you know, everyone builds their families differently, right? And I learned a lot. When you say no and you don't want something, you get it.
Basically, she kept speaking it into the universe, and in my mind, I'm open for that. But I'm a person of habit. Like, I like to go to where I know things. I don't like the unknown. So for me, if like I know something worked the first time, I'm gonna try to go that route again because like it worked.
But me, I love being adventurous. I love different stuff. So I was like, no, I want it to be different. I want it to be different. Period.
So
difference is what we had. The first step was for me to find out more about how can I get into the IUI and getting just a regular checkup, checking my toto and everything. So I went to Mount Sinai to get a pap smear and just ask about the IUI and
like she had gotten a referral from her primary care doctor.
Exactly.
But we told the doctor we want to be recommended and referred to somebody that does IUIs. I know we were speaking clear English when I said that to him.
It didn't happen. I got there, I told her about it, and she...
High ass copay, $75 copay.
Girls, people who are watching, $75 copay? You know how many times I gotta go to the doctor?
$75 copay. And mind you, when I tell you we was looking forward to this appointment,
we were so
excited.
What day was that appointment?
It was June 18th, I believe.
Was it? No.
It was 17th. It was June 18th or June 17th.
It had to be 17th.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. We went, I went.
She went.
And I was like, okay, cool. Did a regular paps, cool. I asked her the question. I was like, okay, so, you know, me and my partner trying to conceive, we're in a same-sex couple, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, yeah, well, that's something that you're gonna have to do with an infertility clinic. And so she started giving me these options of
infertility?
You haven't even told me I had an infertility problem.
My thing was like, how you go from like 0 to 100? You went from A to Z. You didn't count no numbers or no letters in the middle. Like, you just jumped out the window, miss.
Yes, so obviously I was so disappointed. I was sad. I came out the doctor and I told her, and I was like, so they just did a pap smear. And she was like, okay, go on. I was like, no, that's what they did, a pap smear, and then they gave me infertility clinics to go to.
Remember that meme with the girl that was like this? That was how I was on the phone, because I'm like, so they only did a pap smear, and then what happened?
No, baby, that's what happened. That's what happened. That's it. No idea, man. That was it.
So obviously we were mad because basically it was a waste of money, it was a waste of time, and got no answers. It's not even like she said, here's a referral to somewhere. She just straight up said infertility clinic.
Yes. And guys, infertility clinics is, you know, they are expensive.
They're expensive,
and there's no need for me to go there when there's not an infertility issue.
Problem. So,
because she had knowledge of all this stuff, right? She said, okay, we can go ahead and go to Garden OBGYN, which is where she went. And I was like, okay, well, we could do that. But just make sure.
As long as it's not the exact same location.
Do not give me no damn same location, and let me know if anybody else is like that. Cause honey, that's to me is like having the same like baby daddy.
So Garden has various locations throughout the city, and you know, I thought for back when I went, it's like 6 years ago, it was just the nicest place, and I was like, okay, yeah, this will be great. So we called, we got an appointment.
We did. I was still excited. It was somewhere else, but in a different Garden,
different location.
But we were excited that day, super nervous. And we were meeting with this doctor named Dr. Torres. She was Hispanic. She was really
young,
nice.
she was pretty. Like we were like, okay, yeah, like she looks like a nice, like yes.
We were like, we got this. So we went in, obviously with restrictions. They weren't letting her in to do any.
And let me just say right off the bat, with that, I understand COVID. First of all, we're both vaccinated. Yeah. That's number one. But when you're doing this type of journey, okay, I'm not gonna be the caring parent, so I just want to put that out there. We're looking to put it here, but that doesn't mean that this is not also my experience. And so it kind of sucked for me that they were being a little strict and saying like I couldn't come in the room with her.
They were basically saying the only way that she can come in if I was pregnant, and we saw like obviously
like a heterosexual couple. You know me, I was on 100. She was
like, why they over there?
Why they get to go? Oh, because they're pregnant already. I'm like, oh, I.
So I had to go, So I had to go alone. I got a sonogram done.
Mind you, I had to be on FaceTime.
Yeah. But it was cool. They had like a little screen. They had like a little baby. And I was like, oh, my legs were open, like mad hype. And I was like, oh my God. So I was very nervous about getting the sonogram. The sonogram was a transvaginal. And it wasn't that bad. But they didn't, like the doctor that did the sonogram, she didn't show me the screen. Like it was really just going in
like
to the point.
Like boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, and it was just like, I didn't really think about it that much, but we'll let you know why I'm thinking about it now.
She did the sonogram. I was in the waiting room, and then that was that. She came out, and then
yeah, we were just waiting there.
She went in with the doctor after, and I wasn't allowed to go in, so the service was crappy where we were, which is crazy because we were in Manhattan. It's not even like we were in like some place, but we were in Manhattan and the service was really bad. I was trying to hear what was going on.
Yeah, I just really don't really think that they were just nice about it.
Yeah, like they weren't. It's just like if you know it's a same-sex couple and like, why wouldn't you have the other person come in? Especially because of what she was about to tell you. She looked at her sonogram and was it the sonogram? No, you told her about your irregular period.
Yeah, I told her about, so I have irregular periods, and that was the #1 question that we had going
into it. Yeah.
And we were, so I met with the doctor, and I was like, hey, so I'm the same-sex couple. we're trying to conceive, and you know, we want to get started by September. And so she's like, okay, well, she was like, you know, she was basically telling me what, you know, causes or whatever causes the irregular period. So she was like, maybe you do have it, maybe you don't. Let's go ahead and get the sonogram done. So that's when I went, got the sonogram done. The results came in within, I would say 15 to 20 minutes. Bae was in FaceTime, and then they had no service, so I had to just call her. So it was just weird. And I just feel like nobody was really as nice as they should when you're trying to conceive. And babe, honestly, I think the reason why that is because OBGYN has so many different.
That's what I want to get into, because that's why I got to talk a little bit about my last experience versus now, because I think something changed in that time frame. What happened was I ended up going in with her, like, because we were the last people in the place. First of all, we were there for a long time. Our appointment was at like 7 o'clock.
It was 7, and we were there until like 10.
We were there until like 10 at night, so we were waiting around for a long time. We were the last people there. So the doctor allowed for me to come in with her. And then that's when the doctor was like, okay, yeah, with what I thought you have PCOS.
And I was like,
So we never heard of it. I mean, I had heard of it. A friend actually had just told me that his wife had it, but like, we didn't know what that was really. And so we're looking at her and she's looking at us. And this one is trying not to cry because she's just like,
I have a straight face. And I was like, don't cry, suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. And then I just, beep, it fell. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm just crying.
And the doctor kind of just was looking at her. She didn't really like,
she stared
at her. She
didn't
say like, it's gonna be okay, da 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 da. She just stared at us. So I asked her, I said, okay, well, like, so she don't ovulate normally is basically what PCOS is. And I'm like, so is there medications for that? Like, oh yeah, no, there's medications. Okay, and what happened? Okay, well, you know, you're gonna have to see the specialist. Okay. And honestly, that was how that went.
It was, and then she basically said like, oh, you need to make an appointment with Dr. Octay, and you know, that's gonna be the person that blah, 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 blah.
So we came home. I didn't cry that night. She was upset. And
I was crying the whole ride home.
Yeah. Then we came home, we went to bed. I woke up early in the morning, looking at PCOS on Google and YouTube and was laying in the bed.
She was crying. She came in here. She hugged me, and I was like, "Babe, what happened? Why are you crying? What's wrong?"
I said, "You got PCOS."
She was crying, my little baby.
Yeah, so I'm upset. So we're like, "It's gonna be okay. Dr. Octane is gonna make it okay." And then what do? We ran to Google and we started Googling this Dr. Octane.
We're like, oh, he's good.
Oh, he's good. You know, he's talking about So boom, look. So boom, what happened was, they have this person, that garden, that, you know, they set up the appointment, whatever, blah, blah. So they give her an appointment, supposed to go on June 25th. And I know the date because it's Michael's thing, June 25th, right? So she sends me a screenshot of the appointment because the Dr. Octane office sent her a text message like, "Oh, here's your appointment." So I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, but this don't say garden no OBGYN. This say like such and such fertility clinic.
Right. So again,
straight to the fertility clinic. But I'm thinking now on my mind, I'm like, all right, well, she do got PCOS, so maybe that's why. And I'm like, but why doesn't it say garden? Like, I'm confused. And I'm like, do they accept her insurance? Because that was the whole reason. Like, we were good because Garden accepted her insurance. So I'm like, are y'all with Garden? They're like, oh no, we're not with Garden. They just refer people to us. And I'm like, okay, well, do you accept yada yada insurance? Oh no, we don't accept any insurance here.
So I want you guys to be mindful. The good thing about this journey, I love that baby's knowledgeable about different things, and because she knows that there's another way.
Because my thing is this, I don't ever just really accept the first answer that I get from people, especially if in my mind it's just not, it don't make sense. Like you said, there's another way. So I'm like, okay, you don't accept insurance. How much is your IUI? She said between $3,000 to $4,000 to start.
Now I want to let you guys know, a lot of people that I've seen, that we've seen on Instagram, they be paying 4K for an IUI.
And my thing is, there's no guarantee an IUI is gonna work the first time. So like I said in our last video, you gotta like strategize with your money. Like, we're not rich out here. Like, this stuff costs money. Sperm costs money. The appointments and copays, these things cost money. So I'm like, ma'am, I know you don't think I'm about to hand you $4,000 of my money so you can sabotage our IUI, because maybe people don't do this, but in my mind, there's money in it.
It's money involved.
It's money involved, and if you're already throwing prices at me, that lets me know you're not really like,
you don't care about the best for me,
right,
or for us. You care about your money.
So why would I want to give you $4,000 for an IUI? How do I know you're doing it correctly, or you're not doing something to sabotage it to get me to come back and give you another $4,000? So that's the way I think. So I call her back. I said, it's a no.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing it. This was on June 24th. This was June 24th.
The day before we had to go into the freaking appointment.
So what happened was,
babe, as per usual, listen, y'all. Like, people
get you a me.
Yeah, get you a me, not her, but get you another her. Okay, because this is mine right here. But honestly, Tam is really good with like searching shit and looking for stuff and just
what I do.
Doing the utmost.
I search information.
Yes, like she's great, and she found KindBody.
Yes.
And go ahead, tell the journey as to how you found KindBody, because it wasn't easy either.
Nah, so called up the insurance, got 3 referrals. Now, mind you, I had gotten 3 referrals from the insurance prior, but they were in Brooklyn. Now I love Brooklyn. But they doctors, but yo, them fertility clinics look like you was gonna walk out with a little more than a baby in your stomach. You was gonna walk out with an STD in your butthole. But so when I called the second time, I was like, yo, can I get a referral in Manhattan? I was like, can you give me referrals in Manhattan? So they were only allowed to give me 3. Whatever, boom. So I wrote them down. I'm gonna show you the little paper and stuff later, whatever. But so I wrote them down, and then I looked the first one up on the list. I liked her picture. I said, okay, cool, she looks like good. All right, boom.
She sent it to me.
I sent it to her. I said, well, babe, look, this could be the one. I think we're gonna book this appointment. Called, and that doctor no longer worked at that place, and so that was no, not gonna happen. So then I moved on to the second doctor on the list. But the funny thing was, when I wrote the names down, my name was drawn to the second doctor first. And the reason why is because I'm a big true crime person. Like, I like to watch that stuff. And this doctor's name was Nicole Brown. everybody knows Nicole Brown, rest in peace, O.J. Simpson's wife. So that's why my attention was drawn to the name. But also Doc Brown. I just put out a mixtape and I have a song called Doc Brown. So I call up and she works for this place called KindBody. I'd never heard of KindBody. I wore yellow today in this video for KindBody because that's their color scheme. So shout out to KindBody. So boom, so I was like, okay, look, this Dr. Brown, let me look her up because number one, I'll make sure she's in the network. So I started Googling.
Amazing. Diversity.
That was one of the big things. I'm gonna be honest with you. The fact that they had a lot of women of color on their social media, on their YouTube page. They had a lot of their stuff was geared towards same-sex couples. We watched, oh my gosh, we watched all of their videos on YouTube. We were like stalking their social media. So we called up and we made a virtual appointment like immediately.
It was the next day. It was a virtual appointment on the 25th, the day before. The same day we needed to go to the other appointment. Honestly, things work when they're supposed to, and just life just guides you through the right way, honestly.
Yeah, and we were able to get the results from, because all her blood tests or whatever and her ultrasound, we got Garden to send them over to KindBody, and turns out she has mild PCOS. So that already kind of let us know, like, this other place had us jumping out the window thinking like we had no chance of conceiving.
Yeah, like that's
how I felt.
They didn't tell us nothing. They didn't say, oh, it was mild PCOS. They just said you was diagnosed with PCOS, but they didn't let you know nothing. And honestly, off the bat, off the virtual appointment alone, we felt welcomed. We felt that they heard us, they cared about us.
Can we pause? Sorry.
We're treated.
Hey, baby. My bad. Jackson FaceTimed me. So yeah. But anyways, so our virtual appointment went really, really good. We were so excited about it, and we set up right away for her to go into the office
and get blood. That's the first thing we got.
Because her birthday was coming up that following week on the 30th, and we went to New York City Hall
to get domesticated.
Damn, I should have went like this. That looked really girly.
Domesticated.
We went to get domesticated.
Yeah, we went to get domesticated. We're so happy.
Yeah, so basically domestic partnership, for those who don't know, is, you know, basically a recognized relationship, the person you live with, you're in a relationship with, that you financially support each other.
Yeah, we're in a legal relationship now.
Yes, and it offers some protections that can be beneficial to those people who are trying to conceive. And I just felt like, you know, we've been together long enough. I say 4 years, but, you know,
I say 3.
We could argue about that. But I feel like I don't even think it's the amount of time we've been together. I just think like I think we both know we found our person.
Found the one after so long of searching for you.
This is what I deal with, y'all.
Love of my life.
She's rubbing my butt right now.
Listen.
So yeah, so we did our domestic partnership, and then
I didn't need a ring. Babe was like, you know, you need a promise ring. You need
like I wanted to get her a promise ring, like, you know, before I get her like a big bling bling.
God, you know,
I don't want y'all to see this little ring and be like, damn, that's it. You can't even see it. Where's that?
No, it's so pretty.
It was. I really liked it a lot. It's very dainty. And she didn't want anything super big because she didn't want people to mistake it for an engagement ring. So
yeah, I didn't want people to be like, oh my god, congratulations.
I mean, although they did that anyway, although everybody pretty much like a lot of people don't realize what domestic partnership is, so they just assume it's like another form of marriage and it's for gay people, and so we got like a million congratulations and we appreciate it. But
to me, marriage is just a piece of paper. However,
my thing is I want to do it for the right reasons, and like, you know, obviously I have reservations just because I've been through a divorce and it's not fun. It's not, you know, whatever. But I wanted to do like a commitment in some kind of way with her because like I feel like we're at a point where we can be that committed. I
mean, and you know, an old-fashioned way, before you have a child, you want to get married, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. For me, the motivating factor would have been to be on the child's birth certificate and not have to adopt, right? That's the main thing. But laws again have changed and people don't go and dig, right? And because I went digging again, there's a form that you can sign in the hospital, and it's called the AOP form. Now the AOP used to stand for Acknowledgement of Paternity. And as you know, paternity stands for the father, right? And so only a father, a male, could sign the AOP form. But since same-sex marriage is pretty much legal everywhere, and like same-sex couple is becoming like more accepted in mainstream, the AOP now stands for Acknowledgement of Parentage.
Whew.
Okay? And so now when you're in the hospital, you can sign that form as a same-sex couple. And it doesn't necessarily say same-sex, but it says couples that used assisted reproductive methods, which
IUI.
we did, IUI. And so me going on the birth certificate and the child having my last name won't be a problem.
And I want the baby to have her last name because I will eventually take her last name.
Yes, the Willis, it will be the Willis family.
Listen, y'all, I'm honestly, if y'all see me get married, if I get a ring, it's because, girl. But, you know, the closer that we get to building a family, it just means a lot to me because I honestly never thought that someone would love me so much.
I love you. Are you crying?
No.
Oh.
But I thought someone...
Damn, that was good.
No.
That was good.
I thought so. I didn't know someone was, you know, I mean, I you know, when you're in a relationship, people tell you they love you all the time. And, you know, people do so much fucked up shit. And I don't care about all of that, but it's just someone that finally wants to settle down with you means a lot. And I honestly didn't think I would be with someone today and say we've been together for 3 years. She would say 4.
I would say 4.
You know, for this much time, and then say we have a baby.
I say 4 because from the minute I started spending time with her, I knew she was the one for me. And that's just a fact. I'll tell you, and this is just to throw a little tidbit in there for you. Because, you know, everybody says that when they're in a relationship with somebody, right? They're like, oh, you're the one for me. But they tend to say that when there's no other options. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I was in a relationship for 8 years. I just went through a divorce. I was in the streets, I'm not gonna lie. And there was options. But when I met her, options was just deaded.
It was just like, how though? Because I was in a whole situation and she still chose me.
And that's the thing, like, she wasn't even fully 100% available. Like, yeah.
I was like, nah.
She was like not really available, and no matter how hard I was pushing, it was like, yeah, no, friend zone. But I was canceling dates. I was standing people up, like because
it was the best decision I've ever made.
It was just like, for me, the friendship that we had was unlike anything that I'd ever experienced, and I always felt like I was in relationships in the wrong way. Our
relationship wasn't a relationship when we first started. Well, we were friends. We were best friends, and it just happened overnight. It's not like when you chill with people and you just call them your best friend and be like, yo, you're my best friend. Hey, bestie. No. Best friend.
Like we were hanging out, and that's the thing. Like, there was literally nothing like freaky happening. Like, not really. Like, it wasn't nothing like that. Like, we really was just hanging out. Like,
we would talk about the worst shit that's happening to us currently, the bad stuff, the good things. We would be there as a support. It was just someone that you really need. The night I knew that I liked her and I caught feelings for her, I actually had a date, right? And I stood the person up, right? Which was really like mean of me to do, but like, I got caught up because we were hanging out in a bar, smoking hookah,
and then like I was telling her about my situation with my son, and like I get emotional when I talk about my son, because as a mom, to not have your child with you, because I didn't biologically carry him, so to not have your child with you, like, that shit is emotional. So I start crying in the middle of the bar, and she reached over and she just wiped my teardrop.
I was like, oh my God.
And that was the moment for me.
I was like, oh my God, she's crying. I don't do well with people who cries, but I was so, you know, that's a really touchy subject. So I was like, oh my God. And I went and I cleaned her little tears, and I was like, oh my God, okay. As a friend, right? And I'm over here like, oh my God, I like her. Oh, I got a crush. And that was that. But anyways, bring it back. So we're always getting off topic. Bringing it back to KindBody. Where we went for our first in-person, her first in-person appointment at the Flatiron location. Is our experience, so our appointment. They let her come in, there is no restrictions. Like, come on, man. Like, right off the bat, when I was like, mind you, she was there to get blood drawn, right? So like, it's not even like anything crazy. But I was like, oh, you know, can I go back? And they were like, yeah. It was like, why are you asking that? Like, it was assumed that I was going back. But the cool thing about KindBody is they have like this app, and you can
have your own profile. It's like I have a profile, she has a profile, and they link them in the system. So I can call on her behalf and make appointments. I can get information. You know how amazing that is?
It's gorgeous. I mean, she can't look into my portal, but you know, obviously she has access to it.
Yeah,
but
like I can't see like her medical stuff that they upload, but I have the ability to call them and talk about things with our account. And you send a message and they answer you right back. So that's really helpful to kind of just be able to do that, because in the middle of the night you'll be stressing and you'll have a question and you can just put your question right there and then somebody will eventually answer that. So that's
yes, okay. Another good thing about it is that you can use your phone, you can record, you can take pictures.
Oh yeah, they're very like hip to the times. They're very with the social media. Like,
oh yeah, take a picture.
They're like, oh, take a picture, pose. I mean, first of all, the aesthetic of this place is beautiful. I should have put yellow in the background because everything is like yellow and white. It's just really, it's a calm setting and you forget that you're at a doctor's office.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm in a spa. Like,
yeah, I swore somebody's about to come rub my feet.
It doesn't even feel like a fertility clinic at all. It just
you forget.
Amazing.
We almost forgot about the PCOS.
When I say amazing, I love it. I tell her all the time, like, I'm glad you found this place. Just amazing. I really don't like doctors or hospital that much, so this place won't make you feel like you're at a doctor's appointment at all. You'll just love it.
And yeah, we'll be trying to take our first IUI and come in August.
I'm so excited. OMG, we're gonna do this. It's just surreal to me.
The fact that we might be parents,
I'm still like,
it's honestly, I'll end the video, at least for me, to say that, and I'll get emotional, so I'm gonna try not to. But I feel blessed and lucky to have met someone that I'm willing to do this with again, because I promise you, coming out of whatever I had, I was not doing this ever again, because I was just like, I'm not gonna meet nobody that I'm gonna trust.
Damn,
I'm not gonna trust anybody enough.
I love you though, because it's just like, yo, we went through so much and you trust me.
Oh, I trust her. I do. I really trust you.
I trust you too.
You know I love you.
Stop, fuck you up.
You see how I'm like being all really like sentimental and shit.
Baby.
But babe, like, come on, you know I love you and I trust you. Like I ain't going nowhere. But besides the whole trust factor for me, like, don't forget what our channel is about. Age ain't nothing but a number.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
So
yeah, let's not forget.
Don't forget, there's a 14-year age difference. So for me, I'm thinking, yeah, whoever I end up dating is gonna be my age. They're gonna be in their 40s. They've either had kids already or they're not trying to have them now. So for me, chances of building a family and living under one roof, that was out the window. It just so happened I met
this pretty young thing.
Pretty young things, repeat after me. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty young thing. No, that's me.
My pretty young thing?
Yeah, you know.
You know, I was wondering, you know.
Shut up.
Again, shout out to KindBody.
Shout
Again, they have taught us so much in such a short amount of time. Our journey has only been like from June 25th to today is July 18th.
Yeah.
So less than a month with KindBody, and we've already learned so much about PCOS. We've learned about different medications.
Learned so much about different exams that we've taken.
CMV, AMH, HSG. That's why I said you got the whole alphabet when you go to KindBody.
You have, and if we're not gonna talk about what those tests are, we already told you what the CMV is, but you can go to redfantv_ and you're gonna know where you're gonna see all the different tests that we've taken so far, and it gives you an explanation as to what that test is and why is it important. So go over to redfantv.
Yeah, follow our journey over there, because like, you know, we don't get a chance to sit down and make videos that often because we have a lot going on. We're very busy, but we're definitely gonna try to make them more often. But definitely, like she said, follow us on redfantv_. Not that other weird redfantv account, but ours has the _@ at the end. And yeah, stay tuned for our journey, our TTC journey.
We're excited no matter what happens. For us,
listen, good vibes. To our future baby. Your moms love you.
Pampalan.
Pampalan.
We love you, Pampalan.
We love you, Pampalan.
But listen, if you are in the TTC journey, God bless you and cheers to you, and always stay positive
and stay strong. And we will see you in our next video.
We'll see you guys soon.